Good morning, lovelies. Today we have almost the last day of Manuela University, and this is Irina Busurina, the Juicy Life Coach who brings joy and passion to people's lives and businesses. And as well, today I have a super special guest with us. Who is that?
Hi, I'm Jayesh A.Punater. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an investor, and I help startup and growth companies, transform. And really, my mission in life is to help, to help humanity by transforming companies, communities, and countries by helping them, scale and grow.
Yeah, this is so important because for our Juicy Life Society, what is going to be happening? You are there, you are grow, you get successful, inspirational. And tell Jayesh, what is actually the most joyful moment for you, in all of your work?
It's really to see that you make a big difference, to your employees and to your clients. But employees first is to really transform their lives and show that you're on a journey with them, where you're coaching them, training them, and really improving their life and their families and their extended family life, because they're in an environment of building a business, but also having fun while doing that.
Yeah, and how can we actually have fun while building a business?
So the concept a lot of people think is that, how do I manage and balance work-life? I don't believe there's any work-life balance. I believe in work-life integration. I've been saying that for more than 10 years.
Of course.
So you bring the joy and fun into the workspace rather than trying to go home to seek those things out. And there are a lot of practices you can do to help companies transform themselves by engaging in anything from mindfulness, games. One of our thing at my previous company was we had a dream catcher society where people could live their dreams within the company rather than living outside. And we would provide.
Tell us more about that great concept.
Dream catcher society were very talented individuals at every stage of the firm that had passions that extended beyond their work, and we would provide time and funding for them to live those passions at work. So one person, she wanted to she was an artist and have a art showing at a gallery. So we sponsored a global art competition in 5 locations of the firm, and then eventually her paintings were then taken to an art gallery and she was able to sell them. So it was like an example of living your passion at work.
So, and then how is it going with her then? So her artwork was exposed. Did she get some artist career going? Or how is she now?
Mainly she was, she's very happy at work because she is able to work and be contributing to our business, but also she's able to live her passion at work, and not having to make a sacrifice. And we had somebody else who wanted to coach soccer to inner city school students, so we give them funding and time to do that, and that was also giving him ability to express himself in the work environment, and it just helped us in the company create a culture of having fun, but also working hard and being reliable.
Some of our audience guests actually asked me, oh, such an interesting person comes into our interview. So how actually did you make it to come to this place where you really enjoy your working place and you are living a mission? What took you to get to that point? What is the story?
So I always had a passion since I was an 8-year-old boy to help lots of people, and I thought that the way to help that was to actually have a platform. So my platform was building a company, and that company was over time successful, and then we sold that to a public company a couple of years ago. So after that I sat and said, now what's next? And then I realized that my passion is to help a lot of entrepreneurs scale their business and help them go through the journey that I went through by providing them capital, advice, and services. So we have over 91 companies on our platform, and we're helping, constantly looking for CEOs, entrepreneurs who are trying to grow the business, but in a manner which is not traditional. It's not only numbers; it's also changing the spirit of the company, creating a culture, creating values, having a great vision, and then aligning everyone to that one vision.
So how would you do to explain to a 5 years old how to scale your business?
Basically,
to 5 years old?
Yes. Yeah. My 5-year-old actually, when trying to explain what we did, he said, "Oh, my father helps companies grow." But how do you do it? I think it's really simply enjoy. First of all, find something there's a need for. Is there a problem that someone needs to solve? And secondly, try and create a team where you do the things you are good at and you like, and find other people who are good at things that you don't like to do. and then you now have a well-balanced team.
Mm. So the need and the good team where everyone does what they love. And what's the next step?
For them,
Yeah.
um, I think to have a vision and be very clear about the values that you believe in. Not too many values means nothing. So you need a few, whether it's 3 or 5, whatever the right number is. But the value doesn't mean you put it on a website or on your marketing material. Values is what you live and breathe every day. Um, so have a clear vision, have great values, and the number one thing we believe is that you should create. The number one thing is that they should create alignment.
Alignment.
Between what your vision is, what you as a founder, CEO is looking to do, and then how everybody else who's working for you or working with you has their own small or medium arrows aligning to one objective. Having that structure in place. So too many people are very visionary, but they don't know how to execute. So creating a platform of execution, with goals and metrics that you can look at, having good data so that you can look at the data. It doesn't matter if you don't achieve your goal in a quarter or in a year, but knowing that what's working and what's not working, changing tactics, iterating from, if it's a product or service, iterating from do more of what's working and do less of what's not working, both externally and internally. So those are the things we try and help companies with, by providing, helping them get organized. So the whole process of how to get success is that we focus on a lot.
Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. So if you could actually summarize those steps like into 3 stages. First, we got the vision, we got the values, we got the team who is aligned. What is the easiest version of the next step?
It's really a create alignment. Alignment to one goal. So meaning, what that means is that make sure that everyone who comes to work knows exactly what they're doing, how they're going to help achieve the goal, right? So it's so first, you're right. Create the vision, values, and the goal within the team, and then create alignment between all of that. So make sure if John or Betty or Sam is coming to work, they know exactly how their work is contributing to the big goal of the firm, and then creating creating alignment. And part of the alignment is creating measurement systems so you can measure how they're achieving those goals. It's like if you're trying to lose calories, or lose weight, you measure how much you intake in your body and how much you're burning. Same thing, making sure that you have everyone with their own arrow and then their own measurement system, and make that very transparent. So creating a alignment between the team. That's the second thing.
Alignment between the team. And the third thing?
Third thing I think is you don't know where your business is going to end up. So be agile, right? So be willing to change to market needs and opportunistic, especially if you're in the early stages of your firm. When you're more advanced, you already know what's working, then you want to scale up. When you're before that, you want to be more agile and more in a listening mode to markets, employees, and your clients, so then you can fine tune and hone your product or service.
Yeah, so flexibility to adjust to the market. Okay, tell me, like in your own company's growth, what was like the top one story where you've been so unapologetic? So maybe some failure or some breaking through story where you really been like, oh, ouch, and then you followed your values and then something else came out of it. What was this story?
So a long time ago, early days, we had
long time ago.
in the early days of the firm, we had a situation where we had a contract with a client, and that contract was then being bought out by a much larger player. So I was on a holiday in Africa, and my employee called me and said, "Oh, the contract is bought out by the other firm, and they want to hire me." And I said, "You can't. The contract is with our firm." So he was afraid about his job. So we got a call. It was actually Ross Perot's firm, and he said, one of his managers said, "We want to talk to the CEO of your firm." So he wanted to talk to me. So I was pretty like, if you want to talk to me, I have to talk to the CEO of your firm, which is it was a big billion-dollar publicly listed company. Obviously, they couldn't make that happen.
Why?
it was a small issue for them, to go to the CEO of a major company, and I was in a startup mode at that time, early days of my firm, more than 20 years ago. So, so my employee was scared. Oh, they're terminating a contract. I said, okay, just send an email to everyone on the floor, on the trading floor, that hey, we're going to be leaving next week. Next day, like 50 traders were so upset. They sent a message to the other company saying, if you do that, you'll be in trouble. We might terminate your contract. So as a result, the company ended up signing the contract as an exception with us. So basically, the lesson was we were fearless, and we stood for our ground. That we're doing good work. You should not try and change that just because it serves your purpose.
Wow, that was a big breakthrough. So, and later on, you brought this value into your company. So, do you always stand for your?
We stand for our values. In many cases, if some of our clients are not, professional with our employees, we might exit a relationship, which is very hard to do. And when they're paying you money in dollars, but. We stand for values. We also stand for our values internally. Like we try and have each employee treat another employee with the same values they want to be treated, but also treat them like a client.
Yeah, this is beautiful. You want to say?
No, the thing is that a lot of employees say clients first, so they kind of ignore their own teammates and they try and put more value to the client. But the companies that actually put more value to their own colleagues and employees end up doing much better because they create a much better community to work with.
Yeah, so people love more to work for the company,
and they all perform better also.
Yeah, they perform better. They feel safe. Oh, this is a huge conversation we can have about the company culture.
They don't feel second-class citizen to a client. They feel like they're as important.
Yeah. They feel loyal to the company because they feel they belong to something bigger than themselves. Yeah, it's a very important thing, absolutely do. So what was your inspirational moment in the past 3 years in your company?
So now I'm on a new company called Nucleus, where we are helping companies scale and grow. The inspirational moment is to realize is really a failure we had. It's one of the early companies we invested in. Great idea, extremely contemporary technology and artificial intelligence, but we had a leader who was just not willing to listen, and we didn't recognize that. So as a result, we had one of the best technology platforms, one of the best early adopters, early product ideas, great financing and capital raising we put in, but the company didn't succeed because the CEO was extremely inflexible and everything had to be done by that person. That company's failed right now. So that was inspiration, meaning the negative, like just learning to say how do you recognize people who are not willing to adapt or learn, and actually you can't really work with those kind of people. On the positive side, inspiration is that we've had some companies who have a dream, and just to see them go from where they were to another place, just by kind of tweaking certain mindsets of theirs, making them think bigger than what they are, giving them a structure and helping them, and suddenly they're flying, and that's really lovely.
Nice. What are your top 3 emotions that drives you to success, or that you see other companies driving to success?
I think passion is one.
Passion.
Like energy, like having that energy. I think also a positive aspect of that, positive. So I think positive thinking leads to positive results. So passion is one. Emotion is
for success. To reach the success, to get the success, to be successful. Passion, positive attitude, and the third?
Third is the humility to make mistakes, learning, to accept that we can make mistakes, so learn from it rather than wasting time trying to blame people. To have a culture. So these are, I guess, values, and
top 3 key points. Yeah.
Because that allows you to iterate then if you are willing to make mistakes. Too many people are stuck in not making a mistake, and as a result they don't make decisions.
They try to be perfect.
Yeah, right? and they don't progress. They're stuck.
Yeah, and then they're stuck.
While the competitors bypass them.
You're investing in many companies and many businesses. What are actually this, let's say, like the 2 criteria that you're looking for in those companies?
Right.
Startups.
We have 3 actually. So one is the the idea, does it make sense? Is it a big enough idea? If it's something it's already been done and it's common, we don't really focus on it. It's something more innovative. So the concept is, does it have design thinking concepts? Meaning, are they solving some real needs of the marketplace? Real, not just copying somebody else and trying to build a business. So is the idea big enough and exciting enough? That's one. Second is the people. The CEO, founder. Can we work with this person? Are they coachable, etc.? So how much can we influence them?
How much you actually can invest into the people so
they can actually work with us. So those are the two. So the idea, the team, and are they coachable, or can they work with us? Those are three things we really look for when we invest.
Beautiful. So intuitive. How do you use actually, or do you use your intuition or some spiritual abilities in developing your business?
Yes, all the time. I know, it's really...
And how do you do that?
So actually, believe it or not, one of the companies we have invested in does artificial intuition.
Artificial intuition?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it exists?
It's a rock star company, and they can help you pick your next employee or client, etc. using intuition. So that's a whole...
My sister will be using me for her company by putting the tarot cards, and now there is an artificial intelligence.
But as an individual, I think it's more of reflection. It's like really reflection on and pattern recognition. Because in a way, intuition is taking information, data, creating pattern recognition, and coming to an outcome that you think is right. So the practices, besides using AI or artificial technology, which not even has as a person, is to practice in meditation regularly, introspection. And one thing is try and visualize outcomes. A lot of people do post-mortems. We do this concept called pre-mortems, meaning try and visualize all the things that could go wrong. So you work, let's say you're doing a presentation or a pitch. Don't do it and then so it didn't go well and say, what did we do wrong? That's okay.
Afterwards,
Instead, before the meeting, when part of the preparation is have a session to say what could go wrong, and then already address that up front. And then when you go in, you have a much better outcome.
Yes, pre-securing your worst possible outcome, making sure that this not happened.
Right. Together with having a visualization of exactly what you want to happen. Right. Both of those.
But that's the thing. Like, if you know what do you want to happen, why would the negative things happen?
Because in a team, it's not, everything doesn't go smoothly, and there are circumstances that you don't control. When you're a team, clients, so
how can
questions.
How can you then be prepared for something you can't control?
So you role play, and you come scenarios. So you do random role playing, and people will come out with interesting ideas that you're not thinking of. Exactly, like how do you prepare for something you don't know? By having a discussion on all the things that might happen that you don't know.
There are 1,000 possibilities.
Yeah, you try and narrow them down.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the important ones. For a lot of the small things, you probably have an answer and you can kind of, explain that or deal with it. But for a more bigger issue, like, hey, decision making, are we talking to the right person? Just plan through that. Who's doing what in the presentation? If it's a team effort.
So one of the guys I just remembered who was interested in hearing from your interview, he asked, I would really love to know how to get started.
There's only one way, jump in.
Jump in?
Yeah,
how?
You have to, so
we already did some cliff jumping, so how do you jump into the business? How would that look like?
How do you get started, right? So I think the first thing is you have to try and get one client. Get a client, just make sure that what you're trying to do, someone wants to know. Whether it's, if you're doing, any kind of coaching, or if you're building a software product or building a service, is there a need for it? Don't do something that no one needs or wants. So the first way to start is to just make sure if you have an idea or something really good and you're passionate about, try and see, is someone willing to use that? Is there a market for it? To me, I'm a big focus on build and provide things that the market wants, not what you think the market should have.
Here we come into actually interesting discussion of Russell Brand, blue ocean, red ocean. It's like to create, to go to the existing market or create something new, what hasn't been there before, but what potentially could be used. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, so blue ocean and red ocean is around strategy in competing in a market and repositioning the product like Cirque du Soleil did and Yellowtail did, etc. So that is a strategy discussion around how companies can position and compete. But when you're starting, you are
You don't want to invent the
saying
wheel.
you're saying that try and do something that's unique, right? And
Yeah.
the question is, how am I unique? Maybe you're different. Maybe someone's doing it, but you're doing it in a unique manner, providing more value. When Uber came out, there were a lot of car service companies. That service was being offered, but they did it in a unique manner by not having any cab cars and not having any drivers, but building a technology platform that connected everyone, right? And then using the data to. So similarly, I think how are you unique, and is someone willing to use you? So having those initial pilots or clients or users of whatever you're doing is critical to validate your idea. That's the first thing. The second thing is to understand that if you're an entrepreneur, what your ambitions are far beyond what your resources are. You'll always have less resources than what you really want to do. So then you have to be resourceful. Beg, borrow, steal, barter, whatever it is, right? Do deals. You have to be a good deal maker to get started.
What was the best deal you made in your life?
Getting married? No, just kidding.
Okay, but except of that for your business?
No, I was not looking to really sell my company, and I got an offer that I couldn't refuse. So I sold the company to a public company 2 years ago. That was a very good deal. We had some over the years. You didn't visualize how big things can become, so you try and structure for the downside, but sometimes things can become very big,
And then what happened?
and then you're like far beyond your expectation. Like, what do you think your revenue is going to be next 5 years? You can get that from one client, in one shot. So yeah, I think deals. I mean, another concept I have is that a lot of people get lucky. People say, well, how is someone lucky? They're not. I think everyone is lucky, but the people who actually grab the luck and do something with it succeed. The people who let the luck come and go and don't do anything about it lose.
People who take chances.
Yeah.
Actually, something what you mentioned really came up to me is about if we're gonna get big, if we get too big. So I coach a lot of clients who actually scared, who are scared of growing, who are scared of failing, who are scared to be big, to be huge, and because success is waiting for them, but they are just not there and not going there because there is this fear of jumping off, or there is this fear of scaling off. What would be your best recommendations for those?
I think what happens is, a lot of us are limited by our own thinking, right, and skills. So you're afraid of, can I run this company? What's the failure or what the impact is? So initial years, the founder is really the most important person, and the company is created by the founder. Over time, if the company is very successful and there's a market and and it's growing rapidly, the company becomes more important than the founder. And you have to recognize that maybe you took the company from A to C, now somebody has to take it from D to G, to the next step. So make the company bigger than you, and create a company, an entity that has your values and culture and your idea, but other people may run that. You may still have an important role. So I think that's one of the things that prevents some companies from growing, because they're very stuck in controlling everything to their ability. And the company's gone beyond their ability to control or manage.
Yeah.
So you bring in better talent, who's better than you. Bring in talent who's better than you to help you take it to the next step.
Yeah, that's what some of my friends also said. Hire people who are much smarter than you.
Smarter, better in that area. I mean, you are still the entrepreneur that started, but I think there's a misconception that if you're big, you lose some of the stuff, culturally or connection. Not necessarily. There's ways where very large companies, and we are seeing right now with companies like Microsoft, where they change the entire culture of a very large company, using the mindset, working on things like values like humility and cooperation rather than competition. It's the most valued company in the world, but they're changing the culture. So the culture may evolve over time, and the company may outgrow the founder, but it's very fulfilling as a founder to see a company that outgrows you. It's like a child.
So as well, a good question is from some of my group members is, if you work with a partner, if you have another collaborator, if you have another business partner, what is the best ways to actually keep this good vibe within the company, but do not compromise, or how to compromise and get actually the project going? what is your best recommendations on actually in some instabilities or conflict between the business partners?
I think having one person with control and final decision making is very important. If you have equal partners, the decision paralysis can kill a company. And so making sure that at least one person is a majority decision maker, however you structure that, through equity or voting rights, etc., and making that clear tiebreaker role that if in the end that person makes all the important decisions. Having said that, if you want really good talent, you want to find colleagues or partners who can take an area and run that, and you kind of don't, you don't bring smart people to second guess them. So you allow them to work in their, area, but make it very clear that major corporate decisions are made by this one person. So not having, this equalitarian partnership, that just creates a lot of decision paralysis and infighting, and breaks a lot of companies. Having a clear leadership structure in place is really critical.
Okay, so imagine like two people, they already have a startup, they have partners, and they have issues where they cannot solve. They working with the coaches, nothing is working. 50-50. What would you do?
Right. So one way, so this obviously the obvious way is one can leave and the other one buys them out, and you bring somebody else to fulfill the role that person is doing. The other way is that you need to have a discussion around agreeing on what areas each one has a final decision making on. So let's say you are product and I'm marketing, right? And we're equal partners. So maybe I have this influence on what product should be built, but in the end, all the final decision is made by you on the product. Similarly, marketing, I will collaborate on marketing and you'll have important decisions, but in the end, the final decision is made by me. And creating that grid in detail on what decision who can make, and then even if you don't like it, you already agreed on who can make the final decision on that area. You hopefully can work that out.
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't work, then obviously you need to find new partners.
What's your best advice to solopreneurs who wants to grow into entrepreneurs? Like one person business who wants to grow.
Right.
With which actually people would you start to employ or to collaborate or bring together?
Right. I think solopreneurs probably may suffer from a couple of things. One is perfectionism, like I do it so well, nobody else can do it that well. Second is control. Some of it is
all control.
defensive of things, everything. So my advice is that just think that things you don't like to do, get someone to do that, right? And you can start with a part-time employee or pick someone. Don't have to. I mean, it's important to try and pick someone you like or you can get along with. There's a airport test. Like, can you hang out with this person for 6 hours if your flight's delayed? So try and
this is great.
and have and have a good vibe, energy. So try and people who tend to get along with each other tend to do better, and work better. So try and bring someone you like early on in the game, because that kind of you'll hopefully attract people that believe in similar values and can build a similar culture with you. But I think and then again, I think just try it, and if you don't, hire slowly and fire fast. Even with the best intentions, there's only 70% chance you'll get the right hire.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work out, quickly move on.
Yeah.
Most people will tend to stick on to the person for too long. It's a lot of damage to the relationship and to the business.
Yeah.
And they hire very slowly. Try and flip that. Hire slowly. They hire fast and they fire slowly. Instead, hire slowly, and then if it's not working out, exit that relationship quickly.
Yeah. Last question. What is the yummy is coming into your life now, in the future?
I love working with entrepreneurs and kind of helping them deal with any strategy or business issue they have, and then seeing them grow up. But from a business perspective, what I'm seeing is, even here at Mind Valley in Pula, is that a lot of entrepreneurs, whether large companies or small, still need help. And
what kind of help?
Traditional in business strategy, they're not exposed to what's contemporary right now. In how to scale business, how to grow people. There's very few are. So the ability to try and provide that to them, and give them the knowledge and experience, and maybe get involved with them is very exciting and it's fun. And people are all over the world that can. From all over the world that can take advantage of it.
Yeah. So what would you like to see more in this world?
More businesses growing with entrepreneurs who are aligned, and can integrate work life very well.
And what is the final vision? Like a lot of businesses are growing, they're getting more successful, they're getting more aligned.
So I think many of our world's problems, whether it's poverty or environment, can be solved by creating prosperity through companies and communities. Aid is one way, which may work in certain situations, but building businesses where everyone feels useful and valuable, and they're used, where they're, and having a purpose and culture and a team, it's creating communities through commerce. That's my passion.
Wow. So your last wise words from your heart to the world.
I would say that don't dream small, dream big.
Dream big.
Dream big.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. Where can we find something about you and your companies?
It's online.
Where?
Google.
Google what?
Just my name, Jayesh A.Punater.
Yeah.
Or a lot of the social media sites will have.
Okay, we'll find you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.